I'm like 50-50 on this, deporting illegals. I think it's very well to deport people that are, one, illegal and also committing crime. I don't think there's any room for people in America to be, one, illegally here, and then two, abusing the ability to be here and not, working towards making a family or making a better living for themselves. But the one thing I will have to say about the whole thing that's going on with deporting is the absolutely not so great effects it's having on economy for this country. I think it's good to want this out of the country.
Make sure you talk real close.
I think it's good to want this out of the country, but I don't think it's good at the same time because we are destroying the economy in the short term at least. The long term it may be beneficial and that's fine, but right now it's shitty and that's what I don't agree with.
I would disagree with your assessment. So I would say that just because something has a negative effect on the economy doesn't mean we couldn't do it. Like, for example, when we abolished slavery, it totally devastated the economy of the South. Doesn't mean we shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
The North had to reconstruct the South post-Civil War, which was driven by slavery and after the abolition of slavery. And so despite that fact, we still should have done it. And effectively what we have in this situation is slavery. You have people that are either slaves to farmers, slaves to the cartel, or slaves to both, usually both.
Yeah.
And so it's not compassionate. And I think that we should get rid of it, not only because it's a net fiscal drain in the U.S. economy, not only because it's national security risk, not only because of the crime associated, right?
Right.
But also because you don't leave your front door open. And
right.
So we need to solve that problem.
I agree with that.
No matter the cost.
So you'd say you're okay with, I guess, the drawbacks economically for probably the next, 5-ish years maybe. And if he wants all immigrants gone, I mean, that's a large percentage. That's a large percentage of the workforce that's just going to be completely stripped from the economy, which...
People being paid like 2 cents an hour, totally. I think we should eliminate that from the workforce. I think that we really get on China about how they put people in sweatshops and basically use slave labor, right? We can't throw stones in a glass house, and we need to fix our problems too, and we're doing it right here.
Right.
And it's a problem.
Okay.
And also, the farmers need to be in jail as well, right? Or at least face some consequences for employing illegal immigrants.
So, do you think it'd have a more negative impact taking that many workers out of the workforce? Do you think it would have a negative impact taking that many workers out of the workforce?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch you.
Do you think it would have a big negative impact, or I'm not sure if you think there will be when you take that many workers out of the workforce?
Yeah, you'll have a short-term negative impact. But I also think there are a lot of Americans that will fill those jobs. There are millions of Americans who drop out of high school every year without a high school degree that are looking for these low-skill jobs. But oftentimes they don't get them because if Lance is looking for a job and he doesn't have a high school diploma, he really doesn't. I'm just kidding, right? So Lance is looking for a job, doesn't have a high school diploma. Why would the farmer hire Lance when they could hire 100 Wands, right? Why would they do that, right? For the same price? Oh, dude, if it was legal, I'd get rid of Lance right now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But
you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
it's obviously cheaper labor. You're going to choose the cheaper labor over. Not only that, but if Lance gets hurt, I have to pay. If I was to hire him, I'd have to pay workers' comp, and I'd have to give him insurance and benefits. Yeah. I don't have to do that for illegal immigrants. They're just happy with 5 cents an hour, and sending 2 back to their family in Mexico.
Yeah.
I lived in Texas my entire life, so it's a little different, and I've been around illegal immigration all the time. So when I got out of high school, I wanted to work somewhere, so I went to Chick-fil-A. So everybody in the front was an American. Everybody cooking in the back couldn't speak a lick of English whatsoever.
Usually how it is in the service industry.
Yeah. So they're getting paid in cash. Obviously, they're illegal. So I want people who are just coming out of high school to work these low-wage jobs like Chick-fil-A, Hobby Lobby, freaking Walmart. But it's really, really hard for Americans to get a job if all these illegals are taking these jobs away from these college or gonna be college kids that want to save up for college. And I think it's super disrespectful for, America to not protect its own citizens and, the right to work. You should work. Yeah. But, and it's just ridiculous because nowadays you go to Walmart.com, you put your resume in, and you don't get a response for 2-3 months. And by that time, you probably already found something else. And I feel like the American kids that are coming out of high school or even in high school should have those jobs, not illegals.
Yep. Personally, yeah. I mean, I have to agree with that. I guess the concept of the volume of workers that we're taking out, and also the circulation of the dollar, essentially, there's no other way to look at it, in my opinion, other than it's going to be harmful. Like I said, I'm going to stand where I agree with taking illegals that are committing crimes out of the country.
So they've all committed crimes.
No, not
A
all
U.S.
of them.
Code 1325, improper entry by alien, or the law that
Well-
violates overstaying a visa. They've all committed a crime.
Right.
All of them. 100%.
In that sense, yes. I guess in my sense, I'm talking violent crime. I'm talking multiple felonies once you're in the country. If someone comes illegally and they have, I guess, goodwill and they want to, make a family, and
I don't think you can come to this country illegally with goodwill. If your first action entering this country was blatantly disregarding and disrespecting the laws of this country and spitting in the face of every legal immigrant like David, I don't think that you've come to this country with good intentions. I think you've come with bad intentions, and you should be gotten rid of.
Right. No, it's definitely not okay to come illegally, but I think it's a battle between what's good for yourself and your family versus
I totally get it.
the U.S.'s laws. They don't care. They'd rather do
Right.
what's best for themselves.
I totally get it. And if I was living in a bad situation, I had children, I'd probably do the same thing. But that doesn't absolve me of the consequences of what I've done. And the consequences are that I get deported, right? So if you say, well, if you're just a good law-abiding illegal immigrant who's violated the laws of this country, you're good to go. That sends a giant bat signal to everybody in South America. Yep, come on in, right? You won't be punished as long as you're a good citizen or a good person, right? It doesn't make any sense because they're not citizens and they came here illegally.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, they didn't just break the law once. Every single minute, every single day, they're continuously breaking that law by staying here in the United States.
Yeah.
So it's not just, they broke it once. They're continually breaking that law until they are deported or they leave on their own accord.
Okay. So I guess what I'm hearing is, no matter the, I guess, economic drawbacks or the drawbacks in the country's future.
Yeah. We've already stated, yes, it's all right, if the economy, gets worse for a little bit. But we need to protect Americans and American jobs first and foremost.
Right.
Because, you're an American. I'm an American. The American government should have our best interests at heart instead of people that are not from here.
Right. I guess going off that statement, do you agree with a lot of foreign affairs going on?
Well, we're not gonna, I know where this is going. We're not going to get into this room.
Let's not go there exactly, but in general, we'll say in general.
But there's no general on foreign
In
affairs.
general, are you happy with foreign affairs in this country and how
Every
we're
piece of
handling?
every foreign affair is a completely separate issue. So it depends on what you're talking about, and in terms of,
I guess as a whole, are you happy with it as a whole?
right now I am.
Okay. Do you think the government's doing the best that they can to do things that are in the benefit of our country?
I think the government can always improve in doing what's best for Americans. But right now, I think they're doing a fairly good job.